CBD Kratom and Kava can help. Our CBD certified associates will consult with you. Chocolate, gummies, CBD oil. We have Delta 8 products with quality you can trust, all held to the highest standard. Natural Life has 2 locations to serve you, open 7 days a week, located in the S-Curve and in the Heathbrook Shopping Plaza. Give them a call at 352-355-3040, and if you stop in and tell them you heard it on WOCA, you'll receive 10% off your entire purchase. This hour of Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. Go see all their specials at blockersfurniture.com.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Friday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks. On a Friday, I'm your host, Tom Schmitz, coming to you from the studios of WOCA Radio, just off the runway in the Ocala International Airport in the Brick City, beautiful Ocala, Florida. Galen Unall joins me as he does every day, thanks to the good folks at Penn Flooring, Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, and Just Ship. Galen, good morning to you.
Hey, what's going on, Tom? How are you?
You know, I try to stay up on the happenings and everything. And last night there was a presidential address, and I just couldn't bring myself to watch it because I just knew what was going to be said. And lo and behold, I was right. We should take all the guns from law-abiding citizens, and because they're killing people. And damn that 80% of all the deaths in this country or violence in this country is caused by illegal guns. Let's just take the legal guns. That's what I got from the highlights of last night's speech.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is surprised by any of that. I mean, that's but this is also a administration that doesn't really care about the Constitution very much either. You know, I mean, they were talking about court packing.
Yeah.
You know, a year ago. I know that's not in the Constitution, but there's a lot of unconstitutional norms that have been going on, and not just this president, but the last, you could argue, 5 or 6. So I don't like it. And at some point, we're going to have to find somebody who does firmly believe in the Constitution, and will kind of give power back to where it belongs, which is the House and the Senate.
Yeah, here's my problem. The executive order is getting used way too much by presidents of the last 25, 30 years. The executive order has become a president's way of saying, I'm in charge. There is no checks and balances system. Here we go.
That's right. It's become, I'm a king. And by the way, we treat them like royalty, don't we? That was never intended. And I think it's all kind of, everything's coming home to roost. Yeah, it just doesn't make much sense to me what happened last night. Although somebody, the memes have come out, and the memes are great because somebody sent me a meme this morning after the speech last night. They go, after the speech last night, it has been determined that a cup of Joe will no longer be called Joe out of respect for the cup of coffee. Well, again, it's not entirely untrue, is it? I mean, we've got, I think a lot of people voted for him just so that we can get some normalcy back, right? Because whatever you thought about President Trump, he was abnormal in the way he acted and the way he responded to things. Some people loved it, but apparently the majority of the people didn't love it. And I think we expected that to kind of come back, but it hasn't at all.
Well, you say that the majority of it, but now the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Agency, it is the nation's leading cybersecurity agency. It has sent an advisory to 16 states saying that while there is no evidence that there was machines had been exploited to alter election results, it does say that 16 states are using software that have vulnerabilities that leave them susceptible to hacking if they don't address them before the next election. So, you know, I knew that the hanging chad led to machine voting, led to computerized voting. And once you go to computerized voting, once you get computers involved, hackers have the advantage then. Black hats sometimes have the advantage. And I like the old days when you went in and you poked a hole or something. I know the hanging chads, you just got to be more diligent on checking them. But to me, the manual system left the chance for anybody to even say there was any impropriety through hacking to not be available, because you can't hack a manual way of voting.
Well, that's not true, because what they all you'd have to do is take one or two poll workers because you have to scan them somehow. How are you going to count them, right?
Well, yeah, you got to put. It's like a Scantron. You still got to put them through a machine. Yes.
That's right. Right. You still have to put them through the machine, and even that count afterwards is a manual process. There is no perfect system, right? Because you know why? Humans are involved.
Right.
But what we need to be able to do, and again, when you look back, the reason a lot of people have issues with the way the election went down was because of how long it took some of the counts. Make the counts faster. Nobody questions Florida's election.
Nope.
Right?
Because it was done by 10 o'clock, 10:30. Done.
That's right. That's right. So if that's the case, let's follow Florida's model and get the count done.
Pennsylvania still doesn't know who won the Republican primary.
And to me, that's a perfect example of what's going on.
That was 2 weeks ago. That was 2 weeks ago Tuesday. It's been 17 days.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
17 days.
Until the people of Pennsylvania are outraged, then it's not going to change. And right now, they're not outraged enough to change it, because two things create change: God and pain. And Florida felt the pain after the Gore-Bush debacle, and we changed. And and these people in Pennsylvania, Arizona, it'll be interesting to see Arizona and how they've changed, and what serious inquiries actually come out of that whole lawsuit. So they've promised to make some significant changes. But, even California got their vote done before Arizona, and they have 5 times as many people.
Right.
So it's not that it's not possible. And again, the longer something takes, then you really start to test. Because we talked about it, right? We talked about it 3 times. And that's a big issue.
A state that has 4 million people less than Florida stopped their count at 10:30 at night. The state of Georgia, just to our north, in 2020, stopped their count at 10:30 at night. And they have 4 million people less than Florida. Florida was done by 10:30. When Georgia stopped their count, Florida had certified their count. That's a problem. But and I don't think it should be, because each individual state gets to decide individually, because it is the 50 United States. It's not, people forget that each state has its own autonomy and operates by its own laws, because each state gets to decide how the Constitution says how you count votes, how you do the election, how you hold the election is up to each individual state. So,
and that's one of the things they were trying to change, right?
Right.
I mean, that was part of that. Yeah, and
but you got to change. I'm against changing the Constitution for things like this. I just don't see a need. We just have to deal with these kind of atrocities until the individual states, like you said, until the people of Pennsylvania stand up and say no more. We just have to, as Floridians, deal with what Pennsylvania puts us through in national elections. That's just part of the process.
That's right. We're having to deal with those people who don't know how to count up in Pennsylvania. How'd that feel, people from Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
You're
starting to get right there. Galen is starting to put the counting process, and the people of Pennsylvania are starting to get put up there right near Canadian drivers, in Galen's opinion. Y'all need to watch out.
That's not far off.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you want a true story? I just had a neighbor who moved next door to me, lives in Pennsylvania, and I said, "Well, who won your primary?" They're like, "Oh, I have no idea." I'm like, "That's a problem."
That's a problem. That's a problem. Like, why didn't you use your left turn signal? I didn't know the car had a turn signal. Canadian driver, that's a problem.
What do you mean that's not kilometers?
Exactly.
What do you mean though?
Yeah.
So we're kind of British, even though we're on the North American continent. We think we're supposed to be in the left lane.
Yeah. So they're getting close. Pennsylvania vote counters are getting close. They're getting close. We'll take a break. We'll come back.
We haven't even talked about the Canadian gun ban.
No. We're getting to that. We're getting to that. But coming up next, there was a comedian that took a microphone and went around asking questions to people attending the National Rifle Association's annual meeting. And Jeff Foxworthy's right. We're not any dumber than anybody else in the country in the South. We just can't keep our idiots off TV. I'll tell you about that next. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
Nirvana, Ocala's premier medical spa, is leading the way in great skin with all the newest in treatment options, offering prejuvenation for younger clients and rejuvenation for all ages. Nirvana knows you want to look your very best. We want you to look like you, just better, brighter and younger, with all the newest and best in technology and all in the most beautiful surroundings. Like Nirvana Medical Spa on Facebook and find them on the web at nirvanamedicalspa.com. Become a better, brighter and younger you.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Friday, Galen Unoff from Life South joins us. He does every day. Thanks to the good folks at Penn Flooring, Just Shipped, and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. Now, let me preface this by saying the views that are expressed on this radio show are mine and mine alone, and I'm not roping Galen into anything that is my view, but I'm going to tell the story anyway and see if I can get a comment out of Galen. Galen, yesterday, the NRA is having its annual meetings in Texas, and a lot of people have backed out of attending, dignitaries and all, because of the recent massacre that took place in Uvalde, Texas. So, it's not the best time to have a NRA national meeting, but it had been planned months in advance. So, just happens it's in the same area as this, same state as this shooting. So, in all these things, when there's situations where one side thinks that the other side has a bunch of people that aren't in line with the views of society, they reporters and all from all kinds of situations comedy networks, podcasts, everything show up at these things. It's kind of like a bad version of the Super Bowl media day. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Right.
I mean, people go there just to be seen.
Just to be seen, exactly. So the comedy duo of Good Liar, Jason Selvig and his partner, they went to try to get some stuff for their, YouTube channel, The Good Liar. And they walk up and they're looking for people who are wearing provocative clothes or a provocative message on a T-shirt or anything. And so Jason picks out a man that's 71 years old. He asks his name. I won't give the man's name, but he asks the man's name, asks how old he is. Man says 71, asks where he's from. He gives one of the states in the Deep South. Now, it wouldn't have took long to figure that out, although he could have been from anywhere in America and been a fan of this. But he's wearing the Stars and Bars, the battle flag of the Northern Virginia Army. And it says, "Keep it flying" on his shirt. And so the comedian goes up to him and goes, "Why do you want to keep that flying?" And he goes, "Why would you deny me my heritage?" And I won't get into the whole heritage thing, and I just won't get into that argument because, never mind, I'll just leave that alone. So he goes in, so he asks him a myriad of questions all about his heritage and where he's from and why he believes that the flag is something that is not a racist symbol. Does he know that it's been figured out, thought of as a racist symbol? The man answers every question. They're on video for 5-6 minutes. And then finally goes, "Last question. Are you pro-slavery or anti-slavery?" Now the man's answered every question that's been asked of him. Are you pro-slavery or anti-slavery? No comment. So Jason looks at him and goes, "You've been so gracious, so I'm going to give you another chance. Do you want to answer that question another way? Are you pro-slavery or anti-slavery?" The guy goes, "Thanks for your question, but I got no comment on that question." And I'm thinking to myself, Jeff Foxworth is right. We're no dumber than anybody else in the Deep South. We just can't keep our morons off TV. Because, to me, am I missing something here? Is that a no comment question, or is it nobody's pro-slavery, moron? What kind of stupid question is that? That's what I would have said to the guy. Even if I'm wearing the battle flag of the Northern Virginia Army and it says, "Keep it flying," and I've told you about how my heritage is and everything. When you ask me if I'm pro-slavery or anti-slavery, I'm going to go, "Who in the hell is pro-slavery, you moron? What kind of question is that?"
Well,
am I wrong?
Well,
isn't that how that question should have been answered?
No, you've heard of the Daughters of the Confederacy, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
They funded. Back in the it took them till like 1960 before they actually said that they were anti-slavery. But if the Daughters of the Confederacy can come out and say they're anti-slavery, I think we should all be on board. And again,
who in their right mind thinks owning another human being is the right thing?
You're not wrong. That's exactly right. And we've gone through and through the heritage thing. But I really believe that the people at that event, to them, it's like, this is my moment. I'm going to be on TV, right?
Yes, yes.
And you see these whack jobs all over the place. And and my only defense of this guy is maybe he thought this was going to be a hit piece. If he thought that, then why would he answer all the other questions?
That's my point.
So, again, this guy's a moron. I'm not saying his life should be ruined for saying no comment. But I'm sure somebody's looking at him going, "That's my cousin.
Yeah.
I got to call him." You know what I'm saying?
Uncle Buzzard was on TV. I need to call him.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping somebody, just says, "Look, dude.
Uncle Buzzy, what was you thinking?"
Yeah, my opinions and my siblings' opinions on many things are radically different. And I look at them all the time and go, how in the world did we grow up in the same house? Right? And that's okay. nobody. I don't know anyone who comes out and says, slavery was okay. It wasn't a bad thing. No.
Said no one.
Yeah, I mean, and again, this whole thing, it's part of our heritage. Slavery was unpopular in the South. And not just by the people who were the actual slaves, but there were many people who were against it in the South, or what you would consider part of the Confederacy. So now happens in Marion County, where there were more slaves in Marion County than people, and there were more slaves in Marion County than anywhere else in the state of Florida. That's nothing to be proud of, but that is a fact.
That's
I don't know anybody in Marion County. I don't know anybody in Marion County who's like, man, that slavery thing, we should bring that back, right? And by the way, who would be the slaves? Right? Whose turn is it to be the slave? I don't know.
I'm not making that decision. I'm not getting involved with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, just the act of owning
I
another
understand what you're
person,
saying.
as you said.
And by the way, slavery is still. People think it's over. Slavery is still. The human trafficking is slavery.
Well, ask the Uyghurs. You know what I mean? In China.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with somebody yesterday. By the way, the same guy who is morally thinks it's morally wrong for Dustin Johnson to play for the Saudis because it's blood money. And I said, what about China? He goes, what about China? I'm like, they have slaves. No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Google Uyghurs. And he goes, what are Uyghurs? I'm like, okay. Well, I can't. You can't have a baseline conversation. He goes, well, it's a little different. They're slaves. They don't play tours in the PGA in China. I'm like,
yes, they do.
Google that.
Yeah,
and I told him, I said, why don't you? Because that's the great thing about Google is, and he goes, oh yeah. Well, not everybody played in it. I'm like, Dustin Johnson has a right to make his own decisions. Yeah.
That's the same guy that would go no comment when he was wearing this shirt at the National Rifle Association.
I mean, come on. So all of and I get it. The guy's a comedian. I have no problem with him doing it.
The guy gave him, and he was so shocked. The comedian Jason was so shocked by it. He's like, "Come on, man, I'm gonna give you another chance. Look, here's another chance. Just answer the question. I'm gonna give you. You sure you don't want to answer this question? You've answered every other question."
But it doesn't help that he's wearing a MAGA hat, right? Wearing the stars and bars, and it fits every stereotype
that they want you to think.
Say about vote Trump,
exactly.
Trump voters. So I don't know. I don't know how to even respond to it other than that moron. And by the way, there are people being morons isn't a new thing.
No.
You would just never have heard of them, right? Pre-social media,
your
local newscast would have never played that.
No. But once it goes viral and gets 4 million views, now the local newscast says, "Well, we got to show it."
Oh, of course. And I get it.
Uncle Buzzy, Grandma Beulah said, "Keep your ass off TV."
Yeah, but that guy went there hoping for this.
Oh, of course he did.
You know what I mean? I saw it during the break. You prepped me, and I look. He's carrying a flag. He's got the stars and bars on his chest. He's got the MAGA hat.
He wanted somebody to interview him. Oh yeah.
He's looking for provocation.
100% he is.
And he got it. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Uncle Buzzard. There he is again, Grandma. Uncle Buzzard's on the TV.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break.
Probably the same guy that comes back and says, look, Texas still never joined the Union.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. We got to take a break. We'll be right back after this timeout on WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pride. A former Democrat mayor in San Luis, Arizona, accused of ballot harvesting by illegally collecting early ballots in the 2020 primary election, pleaded guilty Thursday in an agreement with state prosecutors that saw more serious charges like forgery and conspiracy charges dismissed. 66-year-old Guillermina Fuentes now faces up to 2 years in prison. In the deal, she will lose her voting rights and must give up elected office. Sentencing was set for June 30th. An internal memo by Tesla CEO Elon Musk says he's getting ready to cut staff by about 10%, citing a super bad feeling about the economy. The internal email was obtained by Reuters. Musk's email titled "Pause All Hiring Worldwide" was sent Thursday to Tesla executives. We are USA Radio News.
Do you experience fatigue when you know you should have energy? One reason fatigue can occur is due to a lack of antioxidants in the body. This deficiency happens the older we get, or due to eating an unhealthy diet, or even due to exercise. Your body's number one antioxidant is glutathione. When your cells are depleted of glutathione, you will be fatigued, inflamed, possibly depressed, and may also feel pain. Empirical results indicate that consuming green meadow whey protein powder is the most effective means of increasing glutathione production. Green meadow whey supplies nature's richest source of the precursor to making glutathione within the trillions of cells of your body. This protein strongly supports the cell's ability to make glutathione. Add to this that green meadow whey also supports immunity, energy, lean muscle development, fat loss, and has anti-cancer properties, and you have nature's most complete and strongest superfood. To order, go to bestwheyprotein.net. That's BESTWHEY protein.net, or call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
QC Kinetics patient Robert Patterson, a veteran and business owner, struggled at work and in the gym with chronic agonizing shoulder pain.
Those injuries just continue to nag, and if you don't treat them, they just get worse. And I just kind of abused my body for a long time, and it finally had said enough is enough.
That's okay, because QC Kinetics tells your pain, hey, enough is enough. Their regenerative treatments bring you relief by helping restore and repair damaged tissue with no drugs, no downtime, and best of all, no surgery.
I was able to exceed the goals that I had previously attained in the gym. It was absolutely worth its weight in gold, so I could continue to live life without limitation.
Ready to get lasting relief from your joint pain? Call QC Kinetics to learn more about how natural biologic treatments can get you lasting results. Call now. It's a free consultation.
352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Hey there, Congresswoman Kat Kamak here, your conservative voice in our nation's capital. I'm so proud to be an advocate for the over 65,000 veterans here in North Central Florida. The new Ocala VA Clinic is now open, providing important primary care and specialty services. If you're a veteran in the Ocala area, Thank you for your service. Feel free to get in touch with our team by visiting us online at camac.house.gov. I'm Kat Camac, and it is my honor to serve you.
This ad is paid for by official funds authorized by the U.S. House of Representatives.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Friday. Galen, from Life South joins us as he does every day. Thanks to the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, just shipped and pin flooring. Galen, I came across this story and I wanted to run it by you to see how much you agree with. It's the NFL has, they always float around the idea of adding more teams and everything. And it's come out again at the owners' meetings and everything. There may be some expansion in the next 10 years. And the list has been leaked of what the NFL thinks are the most viable cities for an NFL franchise.
Yep.
What I'm looking at the list, and I think they're in alphabetical order, no specific order. But Austin, Texas is on the list. I've never been to Austin. Have you been to Austin?
Yeah.
Is it a viable city for an NFL franchise? Do you think?
Well, they still love football.
They love football in Texas.
I'm surprised San Antonio isn't higher than they are. Austin is not.
Well, I think it's in alphabetical order. I just think Austin, this is in alphabetical order.
I mean, the population is less than probably about what Jacksonville is.
And what I mean? To me, it would be like putting a pro team in Gainesville. They already have a pro team there. It's called the Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, the team's going to be burnt orange, right?
Yeah.
And there'll be something with steers or cows or something. But the Texans already own that because they're not dumb. They tapped into that. And you got the Cowboys who I don't know why they don't win every Super Bowl. But, yeah.
Birmingham's Alabama's on the list. There's no way the Atlanta Falcons are letting Birmingham get a team. It's not going to happen.
Again, here's the thing, Tom. It's the same thing. It's about 1 million people, right? And they're looking at how the USFL is doing, and they just throw them on the list.
Yeah, but it's literally
it's
literally an hour and 30 minutes from downtown Atlanta.
Trust me, I have driven from downtown Birmingham to downtown Atlanta way too many times.
I know.
I always feel good about myself as I'm going through Marshall County.
Also on the list.
And through Carroll City.
Also on the list, as it is in every list. But I just don't see a fourth team in Florida. I mean, unless the Jags moved there, Orlando, I don't think has any shot of getting a team.
Well, Orlando is there's 3 million people. Yeah, and again, the owners can block it, and so if I'm Khan, I don't care. But if I'm the owner of the Bucks,
yeah, because a lot of people make that hour and 20-minute ride from Orlando to Raymond James.
So what are they going to do? Split Ocala because Ocala is split now between the Jags
and the Bucks.
Jags fan and a Bucks. There are a lot of Bucks fans here. But now all of a sudden you're going to have them become Orlando fans?
The Jags moved to Orlando is the only way I see that happening. So here's an interesting city on the list.
That may be viable because
It's terrible. Here's an interesting city on the list. Louisville, Kentucky.
Again, about 1 million people. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't see it.
How about Oklahoma City, Oklahoma?
A little different. Again, about 1 million people. I guess that's what they're doing. I don't even think Oklahoma City has 1 million people.
No.
They may have like 700,000.
765,000. 765,000.
Well, there you go. There you go. I mean, that's just not we're proving in Jacksonville it's not big enough.
Well, Jacksonville's the 11th most populous city in the country. Jacksonville's got 1.3 million.
Yeah, I get it. And it's barely hanging on. Think about that, Tom.
I know.
It's barely hanging on.
Also on the list, This one makes no sense to me. They already have a team. It's called the San Francisco 49ers. Sacramento, California.
Well, Sacramento's been vying for, a team for a long, long time. And by the way, Sacramento may secede from California if they have their way.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
But Sacramento's got less than 500,000 people, I think.
Here's another city.
I don't know if you've ever been there.
I
It's
have not.
tiny. It's tiny.
Here's another city on the list that makes no sense to me because they already have a professional team. Columbus, Ohio.
Again, another town that's 500,000 people.
And it's already got Ohio State.
It has Ohio State.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was in Ohio State in the 90s, and I was there about 3 years ago, right before the pandemic. It's a dying city. They're struggling.
The only thing that they got going for it is Ohio State University. That's it.
Well, and they got the Columbus Blue Jackets. But if you drive around that downtown, it's a small city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Orlando is massive compared to
This one is the one you think makes the most sense, I bet you. San Antonio.
Again, it does. If you're going to put one in Texas, that's where you go. You go to San Antonio.
Because it's the farthest away from Houston and Dallas.
That's exactly right. And you could tap into the huge fan base that is in Mexico. Again, that's the largest city so far. I think there's over almost 2 million in San Antonio.
Right.
I know there's over 1 million.
You're talking about the metropolitan area, of course. Here's a city that makes no sense. Yes, I have. I've been to San Antonio, yes.
Great town.
It really is.
It's a great town. Their river walk thing.
Oh, it's amazing. It's fantastic. The river walk is amazing. Here's a city that makes no sense. Here's a city that makes no sense to me whatsoever. Honolulu, Hawaii.
There's no chance.
No.
First of all, population's not big enough.
No.
Secondly, I think
travel-wise, it makes no sense.
The poor team, they would probably play like 3 home games in a row, then go on a road trip for 3 weeks, right? And then, nobody's doing that.
Here's another city that makes no sense to me because it already has a professional team. It has Nike's professional team. Eugene, Oregon. The Oregon Ducks are already there.
Oregon? I haven't been to Eugene. I don't know what the population is.
It's a college town. It's a big college town.
Yeah, no, I get that. But I've been to Seattle. Seattle's used to be a really cool town.
Right. Here's another town.
I'm surprised they didn't put Portland on there instead of Eugene.
Here's another town makes no sense to me for the same reason Eugene, Columbus, and Austin make no sense. Omaha, Nebraska. That's too close to Lincoln. Too close.
Yeah, but there's a lot of fans around there, and they don't mind driving for 2 or 3 hours without seeing another human being.
Now,
I don't think that's a terrible idea.
Here's a team that should be the next city to me is this city right here, because it's already had an NFL franchise. It's already shown you that they have a rabid fan base. It should have a football team still, but the Cardinals and the Rams can't make up their mind where they want to go. St. Louis, Missouri.
They've lost the team 3 times.
Yes, they certainly have. Here's another city that's lost a team. San Diego, California.
And San Diego's the greatest city in America. They don't need a team.
2 more. Memphis, Tennessee. That's too close to Nashville. Just makes no sense to me.
It's not that close to Nashville.
It's 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Right, that's what I mean. That's not that far. I mean, and then they can pull everybody from that Arkansas area.
Yeah, they can get to Arkansas and some folks from Tulsa,
Iowa.
Oklahoma. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally,
it's not a bad idea.
Finally,
and plus,
go ahead.
Be clear. If you're gonna go to a city in Tennessee, Memphis is not a bad place to go.
It is not. It is not. Finally on the list, the one that I know that you think is the actual only viable one on the list, London, England.
Oh, give me a reason to go. I want to go to England so bad. I'm surprised Toronto's not on there, or Vancouver.
Yeah, there's no Canadian cities on here at all.
I really until we figure out with this salary cap, until they make a serious change to it, no player wants to live in London or in Toronto.
But how about
anywhere in Canada?
All right, Galen. That's the list. So I just don't understand some of the cities on that list because they're college towns. What I do understand, though, is we're in a blood shortage. So tell people where they can go this weekend to give blood.
Well, tonight's graduation for Vanguard, so my son's going to be graduating, which I'm pretty happy about. He needs to get out of the house. But the Bloodmobile is in the Shores. So come by there, check us out, and go to lifesouth.org and donate blood.
Galen, I'll talk to you next week.
All right, bye all.
We'll be right back after this timeout on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement